So, finding a side length. If you notice, all of the examples we are about to do have an x or some variable along a side. Okay, that's all we're going to focus on today. Tomorrow I will show you how to find an angle. Okay, so imagine that you are standing on the given acute angle. So find your reference angle. What is my reference angle in this one? 73. 73 is my reference angle. Okay, you've got two sides that are marked. Those are the only two sides that I care about. Okay, my x, which is my what side? Adjacent. X is my adjacent side. 34 is my hypotenuse. Okay, so adjacent hypotenuse. What trig ratio do I need to use? Cosine. C-A-H. Okay, so the way that we set this up is we start from left and work our way to the right. So cosine of my angle, which I know is 73 degrees. This should equal my adjacent, which is x, divided by 34. So there's technically an unwritten division sign between A and H, and O and H, and O and A. Okay. The easiest way to do this is now set up a proportion and cross multiply. So in order for us to have a proportion, I need two fractions. How do I make the left side of my equation a fraction?
Over 1.
Why do I put it over 1? Okay, why can't I put a 2 there?
Because then you have to simplify it. Because it'd just be wrong. It would be different. Because that's what math says. The formula.
All right, we'll go with that. It'll be different. It changes the value. Dividing by 1 does not change the value. 7 divided by 1 is 7. 214 divided by 1 is 214. When you divide by 1, you don't change the value of it. So now we cross multiply. X times 1 is 1x or just x. Okay, be careful when you do this other side. Okay, this other side, when I cross multiply, is 34 times the cosine of 73. Okay.
Why do you have to count the cosine for?
Because you are taking the cosine of a number. So, in your calculator now. I'm going to try to like dual screen this here. There we go. That works. Okay. The first thing we need to do, and I'm going to tell you this right now, when you get your calculators for your final exam, all of your calculators will be cleared out. There will be nothing in it for you to use. So do not store anything. I have to factory reset each calculator before each one of you take your test. Okay. So when you factory reset a calculator, it automatically puts your calculator into what we call radian mode. We are dealing with degrees with SOHCAHTOA. You will not need radians until you get to Math 3 and pre-calculus. So the first thing I want you to do when you sit down, your calculator will be on your desk. I want you to hit mode.
Is it already factory reset?
Normal.
Yes. Okay. I want you to hit mode. Okay. If you notice, the third space down, you see radian and degree. You need to go down scroll over to degree and hit enter. So degree is highlighted. That puts your calculator into degree mode. If it is not, all of these answers will be wrong. Every last one of them. Okay. Your calculator knows the difference between radian and degrees. You must make it in degree. Yes.
How about for everything else that we did?
What if we forget?
You can
Right.
do this first. It will not mess you up for anything else you're doing in here. Okay? None of the other chapters are affected by whether it's in radian or degree mode.
So, no, that we need to switch to degree.
Because you're dealing with degrees, it's 73 degrees. If I gave you
So
your
once we get to like triangles, then it has a degree by it? Like-
yeah. So if you actually look at the problem, that says 73 degrees.
Yeah.
So you want it in
So
degrees.
anytime you see a degree sign, you need to.
You want it in degrees. Okay. So once it's in degrees, you're good. It will stay in degrees until it's factory reset it again. So once you change it to degree at the beginning of your test, you don't have to worry about changing it ever again. It stays there. Okay. Now hit second mode and that puts you back out to your normal screen.
Will it not mess anything else up?
Nope.
that you do?
Nothing else in here. We don't deal with radians at all. So it won't mess anything up in here.
So we can do the whole test in degree mode.
Yes, you can do the whole test in degree mode. Okay. But again, I cannot tell you morning of. Make sure your calculator's in degree. Okay. So I'm
You
going
can
to need
whisper
you
it
to
to
remember
us.
this. I will not even be anywhere near this room. I don't know whose test I'm giving that period.
Hey, listen, you should have a remind and you should text out in the morning, degree.
No, I cannot do that.
He takes the
That-
night before it.
You can text,
Right, you text the night before.
if you see one of us in the hallway. you
Text
can
it the
tell
day
us.
of before school
And we can all
starts.
make a group chat.
Oh!
No.
You can be like 8 degrees.
To check the
No.
Yo, you dumb as hell.
not doing
You talking about me, I'm dumb.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta get it.
I wasn't even listening really.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Okay. So now, is X by itself?
Yes.
Yes. When I cross multiply.
No, hanging on the door.
Oh,
Like,
they not ready.
Not the Kill him. Kill whoever did it.
He ran that way, the other way.
No,
To
he
your
ran that
right.
way.
We went to the right.
Yeah, I said he ran.
That's
Probably-
childish.
probably-
He said, Oh.
What, right, we gonna say?
Hey, look, why you gotta do me?
Oh, I can wait. You're dumb. Like you're.
How about you two?
I don't know.
We're waiting for somebody to come back.
He said, I told him to text you.
Hell, you said on camera shit. You gotta- We're still recording and, yeah. I'm kind of embarrassed that is it. I mean, not a co-op. That's not what I meant. I meant like what company, like you know how some people make the banners, what's they called?
Okay. So X is by itself. So now it's just to put in the calculator and get yourself an answer.
9.4.
34
Oh, sorry.
times your cosine button. COS. Okay. 73.
We don't.
You should technically close your parentheses, but this is why I emphasized, make sure it's 34 times the cosine of 73. Because you could put the 34 after, but if you forget to close those parentheses, it's taking the cosine of 7,334. It's not taking the cosine of 73. So the safest way to do that is to put 34 in the front, and then you don't have to worry about it. And if you hit enter, 9.94,
Period.
period.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm still kind of, you know. Who was it?
I would have been petty.
They're red chips.
Can you give me one? Can you give me one? Can you give me one? Can you give me one?
Red
Jack,
chips.
the word.
Can you give me one?
Oh,
Give him scissors.
you know that you're doing he's like been out of town for the past forever and
I haven't heard the name.
You made my one out.
Why did I start that book?
I found it at my house.
All right,
Who
9.94.
was it?
Get up.
Oh, Jesus.
Not gonna tell us? Okay.
That's it. You're done.
Really?
That's your answer.
Period.
That's not. That's your answer?
That's it.
That's it? Oh my God.
Okay, this one. What is my reference angle?
10%.
18 degrees. Okay, so Alfredo said I've got an opposite
And hypotenuse.
and a hypotenuse. So we use so. So that is the sine.
Wait, what's so?
Okay.
Somebody,
I need more.
Some old hoe.
yeah.
Start with the hoe.
Stop. Oh, damn, you ready to go?
Okay, are we good with why I'm using sine?
Yeah.
Okay. Sine of your angle. So sine of 18 equals. O comes first, so O goes on top. 11 over X. Again, there's like an invisible division sign between O and H. Okay. Again, put it over 1 and cross multiply. So now 11 equals X times the sine of 18. This time we've got a problem. The last one when we cross multiplied was super easy. X was already by itself. This time X is not by itself. We divide by what?
Three.
Sine
I'm joking.
of 18.
That's what I was saying.
What you do to one side, you do to the other. Okay, so this time when you put it in the calculator, again, you don't have to go back to the degree mode. It's already there. So instead of multiplying this time, we do 11 divided by the sine of 18. What does this round to? 2 decimal places.
6.
35.60.
0. Do not forget the 0. If they're asked for 2 decimal places, if you don't put that 0, it's wrong.
So when it asks for 2 decimal places, that'll be 2 cents.
But it's so dumb. They know what we mean.
I better start paying attention. That's all I'm talking.
Okay. What's my reference angle? 57. Okay. I heard we got an opposite. Which one's my opposite?
13 and X is adjacent. So it's Toa.
So this is TOA, which means we now have tangents of 57 equals
13 over X.
13 over X. Cross multiply.
13 equals X times the tangent of 57.
X isn't by itself, so we must divide.
By tangent 57. I got 8.44.
Wait, we could do.
I got 8.44.
So after this, that gets rid of the 10.
Wait, how do you know you have to put
Wait, so that gets rid of the 10. How do you do that?
Isn't that 8.44?
13 over X? How do we know it's gonna be that?
How do you know the 13 goes on top, the X goes on the bottom? So the order that this goes in, opposite, adjacent. So opposite goes first, adjacent goes second. Okay, every time. So OH, opposite goes first, hypotenuse goes second. This is why I love SOHCAHTOA. It literally spells it out for you.
I'm sorry, it's always gonna be that. So it's just 0.00.
.00.
I mean, it's 20.0.
20 point what?
20.
Did you put your calculator in Remo? You better.
No, yeah, I put it in different.
Did she divide or multiply?
I multiplied.
That's why.
10.9.
It's division.
You said that job with confidence.
Well.
Well, I mean, she said it with confidence. She knew what she did.
Wait, so you divide me? Why would you divide?
Because X wasn't by itself. When I cross multiplied, I ended up with this. X is not by itself. I need to solve for X. So I need to get X by itself. So if it's being X times something, to get rid of that something it's multiplied by, we divide. So what that does is that cancels it out over here, and I get X equals 13 divided by the tangent of 57.
Yes, ma'am.
Are
these just more,
we're just gonna have to practice this.
examples?
I'm kind of a lost.
Huh?
Are these just more examples?
Okay, so I know you're gonna feel like this is quick, but on that second sheet, I want you to not do the bottom one. We'll talk about that one tomorrow. But there are 3 at the top that I want you to attempt on your own right now. I want to come around and clear you. Okay? If I clear you, you can go ahead and open up IXL. If we are struggling, I'm going to pull you into a separate group and we are going to do some more problems. Okay? So take a couple of minutes, work on those.
I'm going to go into that separate group.